Yo my guys, today I'm going to show you how to build falcons and how to make them work properly. As you can see, we have ballistic weapons, energy weapons and missiles. Starting with ballistics, we are going to have hypervelocity drivers. These two are really important for disrupting shields and does some MP damage on the way. Yeah, they doesn't have much capability against armor, so what they're going to do is compensate that with breach SRMs. They are quite consistent, has a lot of ammo, they does damage against armor, quite reliable, has a lot of hit points, so point defense is going to have a bad time trying to solve these. Very good for what they does. They doesn't need ECCM package, like this is overkill for breaches SRMs. As for the energy weapons, we are going to use ER auto lances. The reason is they have a lot of damage against hull, like hypervelocity drivers and breach SRMs. Although they have very efficient damage against shields and armor, they doesn't have much damage per second, which is the weakness of falcons. They doesn't have much DPS for a cruiser, like for real, any cruiser can beat it in damage per second. So to compensate that in some way, we are going to use ER auto lances for dismantling hull, you know. Also works for fighters, so have both roles in a single weapon. You can use like ion beams, for example, to suppress shields and such, but to be honest with you, they are not that good for the purpose of the build. Like, we are going to use these for destroy enemies, not to suppress them. Of course, if you want to use falcons for suppress enemies, okay, go for it. But in this case, we are going to stick with ER auto lances for the sake of destroying enemies. As for PDs, we are going to use burst PD lasers. Doesn't need those on the back of the ship because literally nothing can flank falcons unless phase ships and some modern nonsense. So literally don't put weapons here. Falcons already has maneuvering jets, so you don't have to worry that much for flanking enemies. Yeah, that's the weapons for Falcon. As for the hull mods, we are going to start with our modern weapon mounts. This thing gives more durability to weapons, increases armor, and also HR fire, because we are going to mod it. Next, expanded magazines. This one is important for ER auto lens and burst PD lasers to keep them working for longer. Hardened shields, because basically it gives your shields more resistance to damage. Less flux damage is quite important to falcons. Next, heavy armor, simply because this increases the armor for the ship and makes it very strong against blows. Makes them very resilient, both in shields, both in armor. There is no worries there. As modded because 20 OP is quite expensive for that. Maneuverability, don't worry, because we have maneuvering jets. Nothing there that can ruin the ship. So next, integrated target unit. My guy, this thing here is the base home mod for everything you do for cruisers and capital ships. If you don't have this, you can go with dedicated targeting core, but not recommend. For real, don't use this if you have this one. Next, missile autoloader. This thing here basically gives the breach SRMs more longevity. It reloads the Rex for some reload cost. As you can see, 2 for 50. So in some calculations you can guess that you have 3 reloads for breach SRMs, which means it gets a lot of armor to go with in the battle. Literally, this is a must to have if you want to use breach SRMs. Your other cases not, but otherwise as modded because it's quite expensive, you know. Like, yeah, these 10 seconds is quite bad, but for breach SRMs, it's not about GPS, it's about having the missiles to do the work. You will always have missiles to destroy those onslaught armor, right? So yeah, that's the rule mods. For vents, we are going with this, and then for capacitors, this. Basically, I don't use all vents because we need flux capacity for resisting blows. Literally, if you have few capacitors, the ship will be always retreating, venting, returning. It quite sucks. It needs to keep suppressing enemies in order to kill them and not retreat every single time. So that's it. That's the entire build for the Falcon. By now, this is the what we're gonna go with. As you can see, the ship's already buffed, so let's explain why. Let's go for the skills. Before I doing so, let's go for the weapon groups. Always set the fire mode to alternate if you are not going to use the ship. AI likes to fire these things alternating because it can manage the flux better, instead of risking shooting both at the same time and overloading itself without any reason. So keep in mind with that. As you can see here, the skills are very oriented for fleet-wide, so start with Support Doctrine. Basically makes the Falcon without officer have helmsmanship, damage control, combat endurance, and ordnance expertise. As well reduces the deployment points by 20%. What that means? Basically now the Falcon deployment points is 11. This is destroyer levels. This is Asunder. Asunder is deployed by that. My guy, for you have an idea, the videos you saw, right? I went with 11 Falcons. 11. Just think about it. 11 cruisers. You won't do it with Eagles. You won't do it with Auroras. You won't do it with Dominators. You won't do it with Eradicators. Neither Furries. No, nothing. Only Falcon as a cruiser can do it. Falcon span leaves, my guy. You can, like, yeah, I like Falcons that much, but you can also just use 2 or 3 of them. So, literally, my guy, have some options. Continuing here, best of the best. This allows for 3S mods, that's why I could mod 3 of those here. Both pack tactics, it's for the frigates to survive in order to provide this bonus here, coordinated maneuvers. Basically gives up to 20% max speed for your Falcons, frigates, or whatever you use in your fleet. Frigates are really important in fleets, keep in mind with that. As well here, electronic warfare basically gives 1% of ECM for each ship you deploy. You guess what fleets is spamming ships here and there? Falcons. 11 Falcons gives 11% of ECM rating. As well, if you have officers with elite skill in gunner implants, the ECM goes even higher. So if you stack that up, your ECM is higher than remnants even. It can also gives faster capturing into the objectives. This makes a lot of difference in case of, oh, I fighting 3 remnant ordos, I don't have enough deployment points. Guess what? Take a frigate, capture the base fast, deploy your ships faster. Makes a lot of difference for the start of the battle. So yeah, keep in mind that. And then flux regulation, that's why Falcon got 10% more flux there. Increases the max capacitors and events, that's not interesting for us by now. But flux anticipation and flux capacity more than percent for them, it's very important. Keep in mind that all of the skills are limited by DP. Maximum of 240 DP, so do not abuse the deployment points there. That's it. So you want to see how this works, right? Let's go for some combat. It's unfortunate that there is no build equivalent to the Falcon unless this one here. So in order to purpose of showing, I will just use this and see how it goes. It's a tier 6 officer with S mods as well, so no cheating there. As you can see right now, the flux capacitors are making a difference. Why the hell did you just overload yourself? Yeah, this is AI being derpy right now, literally. But at least shows how the breach SRMs works there. As you can see, armor is no longer a thing. The R auto lenses are doing the job right now. Yeah, but even without the overload, you can see that the Falcon is controlling the engagement so far. By the way, something important about the Falcon as well. You see, there's a gap here, a gap between these two trenches. Yeah, this gap can work really well. For example, a beam weapon like this. It will go up here more or less. This can avoid damage. In like weapons that go to the center, like normally weapons always aim to the center of a mass of the ship, so this make a real difference in some cases. There it goes. GG's. So yeah, this is without any officer, but yeah, if you want to get an officer for a Falcon, I recommend this one. This here for makes the armor better, this one for more range, this one for more damage, this one for better shields, this one for regenerate hull, it keep the combat range to 100, this one is obviously for better speed. A Falcon benefits a lot for this, so yeah, as you can see the flux is worse now because of the audience expertise that's no longer there, but no worries, your shield now is better, your armor is better, your range, your damage, it's better. This time around, let's go against a capital, right? Some frigates here to coordinate the maneuvers, they won't participate in the battle, I will just let them here. As you can see on the left, coordinated maneuvers, 20% more max speed. And the speed there, look at this, man. Yeah, you can think frigates would go that fast, right? As well, yeah, a cruiser with 14 DP. Yeah, it's 14 DP now because it has an officer now. But yeah, this is a 14 DP versus a 40 DP. Yeah, quite interesting. Right? Breaches? Breaches? Ah, my goodness, man. Yeah, you totally missed up the opportunity, my guy. Yeah, this time something is working now. There goes the breaches, and yeah, squalls are quite annoying, I know. I find interesting that it's trying to defend itself on the squalls, which like, they doesn't do damage to armor at all, but AI still defend itself against it for some damn reason. So yeah, it's still a nice suppression weapon for this purpose. Yeah, even without the breach SRMs, it is still doing damage to the armor. Yeah, like, Conquest is not well known for armor, right? So it's getting really violated there. Yeah. Well, Falcons can't kill anything, right? Trust me. Man, it's bullying accomplished. Like, it was nothing. Needed some work, but yeah, there goes. As you can see, yeah, if a single Falcon can do this, yeah, a single Falcon with your officer, of course, but imagine this, you have 11 of those Falcons, my guy. 11 without officer. With officer, you can have like 8 of those, more or less. So 8 because the officer limit, like you can only have 8 as limit, but you can go with more if you wish to take mercenary officers in the campaign, for example. For instance, you can have a 14 battle group Falcon. This one gets more armor, more flux, and more OP points, trading max speed, and also they are freaking rare to find. Like, they are rare to find, and when you do find them in a fleet, you fight, there's a big chance that you won't recover it. It's rare, really rare. So Yeah, stick with the normal ones for better max speed, and also they are quite easy to find. Go for Sindria and Chiquitade markets and buy one of them. Speak about Sindria, let's talk about the Falcon. The Falcon LG. What's the difference? Less OP for some reason? Of course, you have solar shielding that allows for less damage from energy weapons. And this one, Energy Bolt Courier. Basically, it increases the base range of weapons by plus 100. So, yeah, this thing here, it's an Omega weapon, of course, but look at this, 900 range plus 100 becomes 1000. Combines with these two. Basically, this weapon does what the Breach SRMs does, but doesn't need to worry with PDs, don't need to worry with ammunition, nothing. Yeah, this thing here, if it hits an enemy, yeah, the armor is completely gone. 1000 damage over 10 seconds. My guy, I don't think that even Invictus can handle this. Like, this is extremely strong and fires quite fast for what it does. So, one of the strongest weapons on the game. It is terrible against shields, but we have this shield for taking care of shields, right? This one here is for taking down ships that it's rushing against it. By the way, let me just fix this. Some capacity, right? Keep going before you say, Spectres. Yeah. Inimical emanation, it's really good for taking down phase ships and also makes them take longer to fix the engines, the weapons and whatever. It's really strong to suppress enemies, so this is why it's here. It also gets benefits from this whole mod here. So literally, this ship here is very well suited for kill very armored enemies like Onslaughts, Legions, Victuses, anything like that. Let's face this thing here, the classic Onslaught, and take 14 Breath of Group 1, right? Just to see the difference. As you can see, the speed's already taking off. Of course, it started behind, but the gap is noticeable. It's also noticeable that this thing has better flux. The breaches got the damage there, the disintegrators got there. So as you can see, the breachers are not that strong compared to the disintegrators. By the way, this Falcon is taking damage. You can see that it's taking a lot of hits before actually losing the armor. So yeah, it's resisting quite well, by the way. Of course, it's lost armor, but at this point, it took a lot of time. So like, they don't die so easily. The Falcons can resist some blows before actually start to lose the hope. Yeah, usually ships ends to flank the Onslaught, right? The disintegrators right there made the armor basically gone. Like, you can see the Onslaught is naked already, like no armor there. Thanks to disintegrators, they are gone. The breachers did some work, but not like the disintegrator did. Of course, you do lose a Yar auto lens, but after all, this ship here is a debuffer. It's not exactly the same destruction ability that this one has. So at the same time that you can't afford many of those with the disintegrator, you don't want to have as many, because 2 or 3 of these are on different ships are already enough to do the work. And well, next build, this one here. Yeah, this one don't bring me good memories, like...
To fight the abyss, one must know it.
Yeah, go search my channel for Royal Entourage. You understand why this was made. Anti-matter SRMs for anti-armor, Cryo Blaster for finishing holes, and DPS for shields, and somewhat hull because of this one here. Literally I had to go with all guns the best as possible I could go, because that fight was good to do. I regret doing that fight. Just go search for Royal Entourage, like that experience sucked. For terms of demonstration, I will just go with this, 2 Sunders, 3 S mods and such. I will also have some Tempests for give better coordinated maneuvers speed, right? It's like 2 of these for each single Falcon. 2 of these per Falcon in a proportion. Literally had to deal with this, and they were also very kamikaze for, like, they literally wanted to die in front of you. Like, these ones are retreating. They weren't retreating, they literally wanted to smack their ships against yours and die with you. Like, they wanted to explode you. It's worse than Lucifer could ever imagine. Like, Allahu Akbar? Seriously? No, my guy. As you can see, yeah, the Cryo Blaster is doing a short work on this. By the way, the Sunders on that mod were literally Sunders with fast missile racks, large missiles by the way, and like really strong with the special Reapers they had. Like, you see, the fight is quite close there, and it even survived. Yeah, the kind of thing that needs to survive 2 Sunders bursting their weapons against you like this is the kind of thing that you need to face a modded fight that literally screw up your ships. Yeah, this kind of thing I had to face. Well, next, this year. Yeah, it's a late game version of the base build like this one here. What it changes is that this one exchanges the breach SRMs. It's a better breach, has more hit points, has unlimited ammo. Yeah, it's overall a better breach. Kinda slower, but yeah, it works. Voltaic dischargers change the burst speed lasers for the best point defense in the entire game. Like, destroys any missile and fighter on contact, like really strong. And what you need to do? Fragment Swarm. It's more expensive to have than the breaches that doesn't need these whole mods, but guess what? That's a nice trade. You have a better ship overall. And like, I could do S mod hardened shields, so I didn't lost so many OP to do that. By the way, these 2 here don't have missile autoloader because they aren't using the breach SRMs that requires these. Anyways, this one, yeah, it's a better version of the base build. It just uses threat equipment. Let's go again against this one, just for comparison. I don't need the Tempest. I didn't need to the other one, so why? As you can see, it's the same thing, like, except that now it got unlimited ammo, anti-armor missiles. Yeah, they are slower, but those more damage. You can take ECCM package to make these faster, but they are basically the same thing from the breaches. Takes a bit long to take effect, but they does take effect. You can say that it's a fusion between the disintegrator and the breach SRMs. Also, the fabrication swarm also eats through hull, unlike the disintegrator, so... yeah. Oh my goodness, man. There goes. Yeah, this build here is stronger because of rare equipment, but overall, those the same thing. Then we have this one here, which is basically the same from the breach SRMs, except that now we have shrouded lens for the to compensate the effect of lack of PDs here. Tactical lasers, they are good for suppression and taking out the hull and armor, alongside with the ER auto lances. So basically you increase the damage per second. And this one here, the PD here, there's a reason. As you can see, I did the tactical lasers to be together with a mining laser. Apparently, if you have a PD laser all together with two non-PD weapons, you force them to always fire. Hence why I put a mining laser there. It's one OP, it's a bit of a sacrifice that make the ship better, so why not, right? This time around, let's take a Dominator to take a run, right? You see the combat lasers doing their job. Eventually these Reapers will be ended, so the combat lasers are already stripping a bit of its armor. Yeah, that's what Falcons does by standards. They kite enemies. As again, if you can't win a toe-to-toe, you can control the engagement. Also, if you end up to be cornered, you can also have armor to take the blows, you know. Why are you retreating? You could pressure the Dominator. Yeah, you're doing it right now. Yeah, the combat lasers and the ER auto lances are doing their job really well right now. The hull is already open. You see the difference right now. The shroud lens there not worked well against Reapers, but can get rid of smaller missiles and other things. And it works when overloaded. For example, you get overloaded by harpoons. The shroud lens will work to protect you against other harpoons that are literally trying to kill you. So basically it's a nice work of a protective PD more than like the standard ones. You can have PDs while overloaded, which is very important. There goes Dominator. Or not. You still need some work. Gone. Congrats, Dominator. You try your best. So yeah, for one that I don't like much, we have this here, Safety Overrides Falcon. Yeah, this one I would recommend you to have an officer because it's not the greatest. Like, it's not well suited for safety overrides. The shield arc is too big for whatever. The ship profile is good. Like, you can see that it is quite aerodynamic. If you miss enough, the ship will avoid damage. And also the center here avoids being weapons, but close range, not that much. You can have this officer here, less flux for firing energy weapons and more damage, better shield, better armor resistance, hull regeneration, combat readiness, and more speed. With that, you can have this. Take a Eagle here, for example. Let's try this one. I mean, it does work, as you can see. It does work, but not exactly what a safety override ship would do. Like, an Aurora with safety overrides would just... Yeah, you get it, right? Although Aurora is 13 DP, this one is 14 DP. So like, you could take 2 Falcons instead of 1 Aurora. But since I'm using Officer, it's better to have more quality ships, you know. There goes. Not my taste of things, but works. It works, so have it. The Swarmers Rams, by the way, it's just for anti-fighter, point defense for whatever reason. I will not use the burst speed lasers because of the OP points for the flux capacity. Heavy machine guns for anti-shields. Everyone uses this for anti-shields anyway, so there it goes. And then the last one here, the Falcon P, the favorite of a lot of people. Don't take me wrong, I like Falcons, this one counts, but the amount of deployment points there, it's not that good, you know. And also limited ammo because of missiles, not that great for me. Like, you can use an officer, this is the officer by the way, better armor and also dissipation when venting, missiles, damage, shields, better combat readiness, and helmet's cheap for more speed. So yeah, you see the speed is quite high. The fighters there helps because of the carrier group, more top speed and also faster fighter replacement. You can see that, yeah, wasps are quite fast to replace, and with that skill it goes even faster. Look at this. Yeah, it's quite sane. After all, really strong point defense. As you can see, wasps has this one here. It serves as a point defense. It fires against missiles as well, so when a missile reaches to it, it explodes and destroys the missile. Yeah, wasps are really strong, and to be honest, if you have a ship with converted hangar, get rid of the point defenses and put this one here. It will help you a lot. It's really strong, trust me. So yeah, that's a Falcon. Let's put it to fight against, yeah, guess what? Another conquest. It's been our guest until now, right? Oversized cruiser that is fragile, so much that it's even worse than Falcons. I mean, yeah, in numbers, it's stronger, the armor is better, yeah, it does. But man, this is 14th DP. And also, it receives more damage because of the officer skills that's right there. Like, for cruisers, it's 50%. For capitals, it's 20%. After all, officers take more advantage of killing capitals than destroying cruisers. So, yeah, not that great, you know. Like, I can see people making this work. Don't take me wrong, people can make a conquest work. After all, it's still a capital ship. Capital ships works a lot in this game. But not exactly for me. Hey, they are fast, but they still can be surrounded. They are just not so vulnerable as Paragons and Onslaught goes. That's it basically. So there goes. Conquest, death as always. So I think that's it, guys. I showed the entire builds. This is all that I know. Maybe there are more. For example, this one here, you can replace the phase lanes with something fancy as a Cryoblaster for finishing hulls faster. After all, safety rides is more about time than anything else. So this one here can be really strong for that. You can change things and make stuff better. After all, it's a mount and blades game. Thank you very much for watching this video. I hope that now you understand how Falcon works and do your own builds. Like, these are just references, you can do your own. I'm not saying that these are mandatory, so after all, it's your choice. So tell me in the comments, what you could change here, or if not, which one of these you like the most. After all, everything can be different for anyone's perspective. So, yeah, have a nice day.